What's going on, everyone? In today's tutorial we will walk through the steps on how to create a simple to-do list that runs in a command line using Python. So first things first, we will create a new file and we will call it todo.py. And now at the top of the file we will create a global variable called all tasks. Initially this will be set to an empty list using square brackets, but this will be where we store and manage our tasks. Now we want this program to run infinitely, so we'll make a while true loop. So it will keep running until we break out of it. And once that's set up, we will print the menu. I will add a \n just so that we can get a blank line in the command line, making it look a bit more organized. And now we will print the rest of the menu. After the menu is printed, we will make a variable called choice, and this is where we will store the user's input. And after that is done, I will put a \n, and then we will create the conditional statements. So this way we can see where the user wants to go. So we'll put if choice equals 1, we will view the tasks. I'll only put the comments for now, and then we will fill in the logic after. And then if choice is number 4, we will go ahead and close the program. And then for everything else, so if it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4, we will just print that the user has entered an invalid choice, and we will the loop will continue by printing the menu again and asking the user for new input. And \n there as well. And we'll space out the if statements. And now let's fill in the logic. So if choice is 1, we will view tasks. So what we will do first of all is print all tasks at the top to inform the user what is being shown. And then we will use a for loop to loop through all the tasks in the all tasks variable. And we will print each task. Now we do want to number the tasks, so what we will use is I'll put an I here, and we will use the enumerate function to number our tasks. And instead of printing just like that, I'll go ahead and put an F string here, just so instead of printing the number, we will put the number dash task, so it's more organized. Now the enumerate function, it does have another argument that we can put of what number we want to start from, and I'll go ahead and put start from number 1. So the tasks, instead of going task 0, task 1, task 2, it goes task 1, 2, 3, etc. Now I'll put an if statement here. So if the length of tasks is 0, instead of just printing all tasks and nothing below it, we will go ahead and print a statement that says there are no tasks in the list. All right, and now if the length is other than 0, which will mean that there are tasks in the list, we'll use else statement to run the logic below. Okay, now it seems that choice number 1 is done. We'll move on to choice 2, which is to add a task. And first thing we will do is create a variable called new task, and we'll get users input to store the task that they would like to add into this new variable. Okay, once that's done, we will use the append method. So we will access all tasks and then dot append, and we will append a new task to the list of all tasks. Okay, once that's done, we will just inform the user that task indeed has been added. Now we move on to delete a task. We will make a variable called delete, and we will ask the user to input which number they would like to delete. \n, and then once we have the variable, we will again access the all tasks list, and now we will go ahead and use the pop method to delete the index which the user has chosen. But we also need to make sure we delete the number that they chosen -1, because the list is numbered from 0, indexed from 0, and we are starting our count from 1, so we always need to deduct 1. And then we'll go ahead and print a confirmation that the task indeed has been deleted. And now finally we just need to convert this number into an integer, because by default user's input is saved as a string. Now finally we will use the try and except statements to just make sure that if the input that's been entered is not valid, the program doesn't close suddenly and just the loop continues as normal. Now all we will do is, in case the exception happened, we will print out invalid input has been entered, and we will go ahead and write pass to continue the loop as normal instead of throwing an error. Now we move on to choice number 4. This is a pretty easy one. All we will do is just print goodbye and break out of the loop. Okay, it will break out of this true loop and the program will close. So that's it. It looks like our logic is written out. What we will do now is we will test it, and the menu shows as we expected. So we will type in 1 to view all the tasks, and it does show us that there are no tasks in the list. Next we will add a few tasks to the list. Now that we added 3 tasks, what we will do is try to delete the task. So all 3 are showing. Now we will try to delete number 2 just to make sure the pop function is indexing properly. Now we'll put 2 and view tasks again. And indeed number 2 task, which was go to the grocery store, is gone from the list. So that was successful. And now if we put a wrong input, such as cat, it says it's invalid choice. So instead of closing the program and throwing an error, it just says invalid choice, and the program continues to run. Now we will try to index into number 100, again shows invalid choice. So this was successful. We'll go ahead and close the program. Now what we'll do is to clean up this program. We will sort it out into functions. So we will define a main function where our main logic will go into. All right, and now we'll go ahead and type here if name equals main. We'll go ahead and call the main function. The reason for this is we only want this main function to run if the script is run from this file, and not, we don't want it to run if this file is imported as a module. Okay, once that's done, we will go ahead and separate these functions also. So we will add a view tasks function, and we will go ahead and cut this whole logic out of the main function and paste it into its own view tasks function. Okay, so this function is ready. We'll just need to call it if choice number 1 is chosen. Okay, now we move on to choice number 2, and we will create a add new task function, and we'll put in new as the argument that we will need to take in, which will be the actual task that the user is inputting. So we'll copy these 2 lines into the function, and instead of new task we will change this to new, so it takes the argument and adds it to the list. Now on here we will need to call the new task function, and we will put down here add new task so it doesn't confuse anything. There we go. And now the add function is complete. We'll move on to the delete task, and we will move the try statement, try and accept, into a function also. So we'll go ahead and define delete task function, and the argument that we will take in will be the number that the user enters. We'll name it as I on the function, and we'll go ahead and cut all of this and paste it into this function. Let's sort out the spacing. And now we will need to move this input code back into the conditional statement if. Okay, we'll put int I there to convert the I into an integer, and then I minus 1 still stays there, and the rest of the logic stays the same. Now in here we'll go ahead and first ask the user to enter the input. We won't need to convert it here because our function will convert the input into an integer, or try to. And now we'll call the function with the input that the user has entered as the argument. There we go. Now that's done, we will go ahead and remove this comment, and this will not need to go into a function because it's just just 2 lines. So all seems to be sorted out. It is much cleaner now that it's sorted into functions and easier to read. Put some \n's to give us some new lines to keep things organized. And I believe we are ready to test this code. That's complete, that's complete. All seems to be completed, and the main function is called. Okay, let's go ahead and test the code in the terminal. First we will view the tasks. It works exactly the same. We'll go ahead and add a few tasks. And now we will go ahead and see the tasks, and we will try to delete them to make sure everything works properly. We will delete task number 2, which is clean car, and it says invalid choice. Okay, so something went wrong in the code there. Let me just have a look. So it looks like the int I, even though I converted it, I didn't assign it back to I. So it needs to be I equals int I. And that should sort our problem. So I'll go ahead and quit the program, and we will go ahead and restart it again. I'll add the tasks again. And now, okay, these 3 tasks are there, and let's go ahead and try to delete number 2 to see if it indexes properly. And now task says that's deleted, and indeed the middle task is now gone, which was clean car. So that seems to be working all perfectly. Okay, so cat and 100 are showing as invalid choice, and that's it. Choose number 4 to close, and that is all. So you just built a simple command line to-do list in Python. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.